Testing, 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 test. There's a crack across my camera. So we're not filming with the best of quality, but that's okay. I don't know how we look right now. Okay. Because I love you guys. And I decided, you know what? I need higher quality videos, so I'm going to film with the back camera instead of filming with the front camera. Here we are. As I opened my phone, it was 11:55 p.m. on January 31st, 2026. So it's still technically day 17 before it hit day 18. So we're all good. We're all good. Um, I open my phone and I see this image on my Instagram, on my new Instagram. Yeah, you're seeing the image right now. I hope. Post edit row. That's on you, buddy. So yeah, apparently February 1st, which is going to be in a few minutes. My God, guys. Oh, I knew this video was gonna be like this, dude. That's saying something because I'm manifesting every moment. So February 1st brings on the last full moon of Year of the Snake, which is very interesting because it feels like today and going into tomorrow, I will be shedding a lot. Everything from the past chapters of everything that come from these past few years, since the fire horse brings on a whole new cycle of a bunch of events to happen within consciousness. I'm not sure. It feels like there's a new cycle beginning every single day for my life, and every new or event popping up every. I can't speak anymore. Can't speak anymore. But we're gonna leave it in because I really don't want to delete this and try to make a new take. Really not right now. Not the time for it. Now I'm getting chest pains too. Lovely. Heart disease. Not sure. Anyways, not gonna joke about something like that because I end up manifesting things very quickly. So let's talk about today. Today made me learn a lot of things. One of those things is that, man, as much as I really love like people I see that are, spiritual or in that field where they're going amongst their journey or whatever, it really gets to me. I don't know, and that's something within myself, and it's because my awareness still picks up on it, maybe from years ago of awakening myself, but it still has a hard time. Like, oh, you know what? Let me just sum it up like this. There are a ton of grifters. Now, this is a very weird way to segue into what I'm about to say here, but this isn't me doxing Richie's journal or anything like this. But shout out to Richie's journal because you single handedly, dude, like just based on how you are in DMs, is saving my faith in people who make spiritual content. I don't know if everyone out here is just straight up grifting, but I get it like a little heartwarming sense from talking to this dude so far. If you want to know how I even started talking to Richie's journal, I don't know. I'm not afraid to DM any big creator. I was talking to Dr. Max Butterfield for a little bit. He actually said Merry Christmas back, Dr. Max Butterfield, but I have yet to reply. That dude, I was just messing with and DMing for fun and seeing if that ever led into like a collaboration video because I'm highly into psychology and things like that. And he's a psychologist and he's gone to school for. Look, anyways, long story short, the reason I'm saying all that is because it's funny that today on one of the like people could deem worst days for news and everything like that, Richie replied to my DM. Now the thing is we've been DMing for a little bit because he sort of released this. I think this thing he's doing where he's going to work with 10 spiritual content creators or something like that. I don't really consider myself a spiritual content creator, but I am more of a guy who talks about his spiritual journey and the things that he's experienced along the way in efforts to reach those who are at a similar spot in their journey or maybe in the beginning and feel like they're probably losing their mind or black sheep, and to basically be like, hey, don't worry, I went through that too. And yeah, and for some reason today, maybe because this whole full moon is here and it's just a moment of letting go, I've seen a lot of grifting. Like I felt something in my heart, just I don't know if my discernment was kicking up, or I just felt like there was very odd things. Like I'm talking like this, I'm seeing certain content creators post pop up where I begin to go type like a whole paragraph and a half, and then I just delete it and go, nah. And this is making me realize how much of the spiritual journal, the spiritual journal is just An inward journal. How much of the spiritual journey is just an inward journey and it has nothing to do with anyone outside of yourself? So you might as well go pick up every single book you can find if you're hungry for that knowledge and just go deep within. Meditate, learn all the techniques, learn from different spiritual systems, and really discover that inner power or that inner God for you. Because I can I can assure you right now, the way we interact with God or the divine or source or your divine self is going to be 100% different from everybody else. One, not to separate anyone, because I'm not trying to do any like mindset where we're excluding anyone, but everybody's spiritual journey and how they recognize the divine will be different. And ultimately, we do each have a different mission here. I seen a spiritual content creator that says that she debunks spirituality that's like psychosis. But the thing is, one of the things she mentioned on that list is how if you feel like you're on a separate mission to everybody else here, you're in spiritual psychosis when you are literally, you've come here to literally live a separate life from everyone else. So you're technically on a separate mission. And that's what made me feel like she was one of those content creators fucking grifting, being like the opposite, like kind of like controlled opposition to appear like she could just be a normal creator. But I've seen this, bro. I've called this type of stuff out for years because I always considered myself someone who stays to the core of what spirituality is, and it's your path, your journey, your connection to the divine without the narcissistic hierarchy. But you are a god and goddess in a human form. Still, a fragment of God still means you're God, but you're in a human form, so you're not going to be flying around shooting rainbows and lasers and stuff like that. And I do believe certain people down here do have certain abilities. I have clairvoyance or claircognizance, where I just know stuff or have a very high level of intuition where I literally have not been wrong. It's like just based on my experience, whether you believe me or not, that's on you. But I've called things where people are like, how do you know? I've had dreams about events that then I call out that then end up happening like a few days later or a few weeks later. It's been absolutely nuts on my journey. And again, like this, and she's someone who calls out spiritual psychosis. But from what I've learned on my journey, where I've had certain things that some of these people list as similar things, sometimes are people having actual divine experiences. But when that one thing got listed, to me, it broke down the entire list because everybody is on their own mission here. And if you feel like you do have your own divine purpose here, it's because you do. You have your own karma or whatever you're living out. So I didn't really think, I don't really get how, I'm not saying that, I don't really get how she thought she ate. She also did say in her description that these were her opinions based on what she's seen. So I do respect that. But again, also, it's just like when you come on a video and you talk so strongly, I guess that's your style as a creator and everything like that, because you come off contrarian or maybe just shocking up front and bold, and then you hide, oh yeah, these are my opinions in the description. Not saying that, but from what I remember, there wasn't a disclaimer in the beginning of the video. Now, this is all okay. I'm not talking down on any other spiritual content creator or anything like that. But that's why I don't believe in the spiritual community and never have. Because again, one thing I learned about the spiritual community, the one thing that can really hinder you, but also be beneficial in the beginning, is a community of like-minded individuals who are on similar journeys. But also, you don't really know because everyone is on their own journey. You can't get everyone to agree on one thing. That's why you have your own connection to the divine. That's why perception is reality, and everyone has their own perception. So the way you're going to interact with God is legit going to be fucking different from everybody else. But I feel like people in the spiritual community don't fucking remember this aspect. So when somebody is having spiritual experiences where they might actually have spiritual experiences, they think they're qualified or quickly jump into calling somebody in fucking psychosis. Okay, I'm sorry. But alongside that, today's been a tough day because I also was going through some ups and downs in like my own personal reality, and I'm just like, okay man, I'm letting go and I'm being myself. So you know what I said in the last videos that I have been saying, I'm letting go. I do not give a shit anymore. I'm coming on here and that's why I also mentioned Richie, which, oh fuck, I meant to show the message. Shout out to Richie. uh I'll show the message. Hopefully by now I'll show the message, but I'll get into why I showed the message. But I guess I'm going to show the message right here. This message single-handedly, I think, set the tone for the rest of this channel. I know what I'm meant to do here, and I know what I'm meant to say. I wanted this channel to be more fun, and it's going to be more fun. And just like that little ramble I went on, and it's all love at the end of the day, it's just that it made me recognize something. Everybody here on Earth that's a creative. I believe everybody here is meant to be a creative in their own way and is creative in their own way, even if they feel like it's the most bland thing, because that's technically beauty is in the eye of the beholder in this situation, where it's just like whatever you think is bland might be a masterpiece to someone else. So I feel like everybody's artistic creation or expression is just is creative, right? Richie made me realize, like, again, as a reflection of myself, that yeah, man, I need to be speaking what my truth is, and it doesn't fucking matter who. It's gonna reach the right people if I'm truly embodying me. Because, like I was telling him in the messages, I was sending some pretty big paragraphs, and I can respect that he was sending some big ones back. So shout out to you, Richie, you're a real one. Um, that what is it? I can't. Where is I? I'm getting a little bit stuck because I was thinking about Richie seeing this video, because that usually happens with bigger content creators too. They end up seeing my videos and stuff. So again, that's why I just want to say my little ramble and rant going on was just it's all love. I don't mean anything by it. But oh snap! I thought I would show part of this DM because it kind of saved the entire day for me. Not okay, so I want to be careful with how I word that, because again, for years, and I've known this already, that my inner world chooses happiness. I choose to be happy because I am happiness. So there's not really things external to me that make me like genuinely happy. It's like, and I'm not lying to you guys, I'm not trying to be like some weird psychoanalyzer myself where I've just become this monk. But I've genuinely seen now that things flipped internally to where I can just be happy, joyful, and laughing without anything external of me to make me happy. Like I just don't need that validation. And I don't know if that's through my meditative work or whatever. But genuinely, moments like this do make me happy or remind me of that happiness. That's what I should start saying. They should remind me of the happiness that I have within. So I guess that's why it manifests. And I have to really shout out Richie here and appreciate DMs like this, like, when we're going back and forth. Because sometimes it feels like from these larger creators, if you don't know, Richie has like a million on his normal page, and he started Richie's journal as a way to like start a account from fresh, not promote it on his main account, and grow it specifically for spiritual reasons, like connecting with conscious individuals out there. So I respect how he speaks in messages, and I respect his content because it's a lot of what I've gone throughout the years. So really mess with this guy, but I mess with his message to me because again, he's just really reflecting my inner world. But again, it made me realize, like, dude, why am I holding back in these videos or holding my tongue even when it comes to speaking about certain creators and stuff I see in the world? Because I was also where they were when I speak about certain people's position. Like the woman I was talking about, I was at where she was at a point in a different way, like two sides of the same coin, when it came to people who were or felt like vegetables were the key to enlightenment. But it's not true. It's really whatever you deem like you're making. That's the thing. If you can make the rules to manifestation, do you think you're not making the rules for everything else? Like, you're literally a fragment of God, bro. That's what, that's the thing that gets to me is people do not, they try to like use certain occult principles or esoteric principles for certain things, but then they don't apply it to the whole. It's like, whatever you do here in the external is not like okay. So this is gonna sound again pretty tough, but it's like if you literally focus on the soul and you literally focus on the union of one, like soul type of concepts, you know what I'm saying? Like the oneness of all, but giving yourself that self love to be connected with others, ultimately you will be a better human being. You'll naturally be a human being if you can see the divine, connectedness between all people, but still remain in your like still master your own sense of individualism by the ego, because you never get rid of the ego. The ego is meant to protect you, but you don't become all like woo woo, but you still be you, but understand our connection, right? Anyways, so when you go within yourself, microcosm, macrocosm, inner affects the outer and outer affects the inner, focusing on yourself and bettering yourself so that you can help others literally helps others. It's not selfish, right? Um, there was a point and a reason I was saying this, because I guess some people, you know, anyways, what I was getting at too with saying all this too is that your journey doesn't have to 100% look like someone like, dude, a carnivore can reach enlightenment. Shoot, a carnivore might have to become vegan. A vegan might have to end up eating meat, a part of their spiritual journey. But at the end of the day, there's some sort of transformation in there. Whatever it is, it's transformation. It's recognition. It's recognizing the self at the end of the day. Whatever your ego needs. But the thing is whatever is going to make you a better human, like do those things. If you don't want to die, like a or get to old age really hurt and stuff, don't like not exercise because it won't make you more spiritual or not. And I believe it's mind, body, and soul. So exercising is really perfect for the body. You got to take care of all aspects of you. But at the end of the day, when it comes to that, you're training the mind. You see some of these gurus, or like, I think some of these gurus out here probably are not like doing the craziest amount of exercise. They're getting movement and stuff, but some of the most mastered minds and things like that, and some of the most brilliant minds we look at are not, doing certain things, are not vegan, or are not this, or so like I remember a long time ago, I used to think Shaolin monks were some of the most awesome people, and then there's a YouTube channel named Ranton, and Ranton, he talked about his time at the temple where the Shaolin monks, like his masters or whatever, it's like they were doing their practices and stuff, but then you would find some of the masters at the brothels and stuff, or you'd see them at clubs, because it's like you're still human. Like, be a human. Enlightenment isn't this. People forget it's darkness to light and dark, but it's a balance. It's yin and yang. It's there's sexual alchemy and all this and rawness to it. It's not this fucking love and light crazy shit. And I say much love and moonlight on my channel because I feel connected to it. But then when I found out that there was like a bunch of white women with crystals and stuff saying, "Oh, love and light," and being very pure about it, where it's like no darkness at all. I was like, damn, man, but I'm already saying much love and moonlight, but I kept saying it because I love it. But remember, I highly talk about the dark side. I tell people all the time on that channel, I do not consider myself a part of any spiritual community because I would scare people. I came from Brother Panic, who was like dark side, nigga. That's what he would say, dark side, nigga. Like, because it's your shadow self and all that, and Carl Jung that you have to integrate. So, anyways, that's long winded. All that to say that, yeah, today was a back and forth in my own personal life, and just like made me realize, like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay attention to any of these creators I see anymore pop up. I don't know who the hell's grifting, who's not, and who's genuinely speaking from their heart anymore. And I guess you just like, you know, I have been good at discerning who are the like creators that are dope, like the Power of I Am, Eric, or Elmer Locker Jr., or Aaron Dowdy over the years. That these people to me have never felt like grifters because I've seen some of them at the beginning of their journey, talk to them at the beginning of their journey, and literally learned what they were all about. And they were about telling how you are the guru. You're the one that can shift your life. You're the one that needs to go out and learn this knowledge. And I've seen a really like cool girl I like as a content creator say, like, don't be an armchair occultist. And essentially what that is, I got it right from the title, is don't just read all this esoteric text and all these things and learn all this ancient information to just not apply it. You're just someone who collects the knowledge over the years. Apply it. And that's what I'm saying. For me, I've applied it. So I find it weird when certain people talk like, say certain things with psychosis when I've literally done them and got experience from them. And I'm like, how deep are these people actually? But again, there's levels to this stuff. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's funny that this happened. And I opened the my Instagram before I ended up filming this video, and then find out that this is like February 1st is the last full moon, and here I am filming this video on that to be like, yeah, I'm fucking done. I'm tired. I don't care about these. And all respect and love to these creators, but I can't anymore, bro, because I don't know who's playing around, who's genuinely grifting, who's genuinely trying to help people. And some of these people who may not actually be grifting but have some like odd takes where it's just like, okay, I get why they're saying it, because they're also trying, it's maybe the way they do their content, et cetera, et cetera. There could be so many nuances to it that sometimes it's just hard to tell. And it's easier to just be, to know you're being authentically you, and the integrity of what you stand for about spiritual works, and just put that out into the world, rather than to try to figure out if somebody else is doing odd stuff. And the thing is I don't do that, but I see certain content creators pop up, and I'm just like, she had a video about grifters. And like someone in the comments also talked about like Tony Robbins and stuff being a grifter. But again, some of the information he shares is pretty good. But that's the thing about grifting, is it's like mixed with truth, but also not truth that they personally stand on. They're saying it because it sounds good. I don't fucking know. I'm just tired of it because I know what works for me in my reality and has worked and got my mind literally balanced. And that's what I'm going to move on in these videos. And I'm going to talk like I know what I'm saying. And I'm going to stop, you know, I'm gonna stop like stuttering and stuff because that's what's fucking me up. And like I said, Richie's message helped with that because I'm like, yeah, bro, why am I even stuttering? I know what I know. I've done what I know, and I've manifested like a G for years. But I just will stutter when I tell people because I'm almost afraid of what people are going to think slightly. You know, like I said in the message to him. You know, I think people are going to think I'm schizo, but the thing is the things I've done work, and I'm very clearly not schizo because I'm aware of everything. I'm not fucking hearing voices and things like that. But like in my meditation, I did hear voices because you can tap into stuff like that. But that's again, there's certain spiritual people who can't tap into that, which I was going to talk about melanated people for a second. You know, I'm not going to go in down that rabbit hole because I'm not going to say anything. But you know, look at the melanin key, or there's a book that talks about what melanin is. And I'm just saying there is ways to connect to ancestors. Some people may hear it as voices. I'm not going to say everybody hearing voices is not schizo or whatever, but I never hear voices. And then when I meditate, a lot of weird stuff happens. So, and well, divine stuff I'll say, because why am I saying weird? But you know what I'm saying? But then a content creator will get on here and I'm like, damn, well, based on this content creator's logic, I'm going to sound like I'm in psychosis. But I also have the self awareness to know that I'm not. Consciousness is strange, man. I'm done. Anyways, love y'all. I'm out. I'm tired of this. I need to edit this video and get going for day 18 now. So full moon today apparently. I don't know what time it takes off. I'm gonna after this video I'm gonna check when the full moon is. Anyways, love y'all. I'm done. I'm out. Peace.